Welcome to an absolutely gorgeous day here in East Lothian. And today we're in East Linton. It's a beautiful little village, and I'm going to go for a walkabout because I believe that they filmed Outlander near here. So we're heading to Preston Mill Fantasy Dewcot, and it's not fantasy with an F, it's fantasy with a PH. But first we've got to walk through East Linton, and like all towns in East Lothian, it's actually gorgeous. Ooh, there's a church through there. Look at this old stone brickwork. Look at these beautiful street lamps. There's the Crown and Kitchen gastropub, boutique rooms, riverside cottages. And here's the town square with a fountain that's not working. Is it Red Nose Day today? Here's that church. So Preston Mill, the place we're heading to, was used in the first series of Outlander. Actually, quite a lot of places in East Lothian and around Edinburgh have been used in the filming of Outlander. I love the pastel colours on these houses. And more of those lamps. And here's Preston Kirk. There's some history here, you know. Gorgeous, gorgeous old red stonework. This is the River Tyne, not the River Tyne in Newcastle. This is the Scottish River Tyne. And Preston Mill is powered by a water wheel, so we must be getting close. And here we are, Preston Mill, the National Trust for Scotland. Welcome to Preston Mill and Fantasy Dewcot. Strange spelling of the word fantasy. I've no idea what it means, gonna have to Google that. Oh, isn't this pretty? And look at the cone shape of that building just ahead of us. I can definitely see why they chose this as a location for Outlander. Let's go have a proper look round. Apparently they used to keep hens and pigs in here. Well, there's a wooden pig and a wooden hen. Now that really distinctive cone-shaped building is actually a drying kiln. It's where they dried the grain. So somebody would have to heft the grain up to the top in sacks, spread it out along the floor, and then there were fires burning underneath to dry the grain off. Then the grain was put into the mill to be ground up by the millstones into flour. And this is one of the fires that heated up the drying kiln. And right up at the top, that part of the drying kiln used to rotate with the wind, and the pointy thing was called the hand of friendship, so that the miller knew which way the wind was blowing. But apparently it blew off in the 1960s and it's been fixed in place ever since. Apparently these tiles came all the way from the Netherlands. And it was here, just behind me, in season 1 of Outlander, that Jamie Fraser had to get his kit off and dive into the water to fix the water wheel, which had broken. Lots of people got a great big eyeful that day. History really is fascinating, isn't it? See these stones embedded in the wall? They measure how high floodwaters have been over the years. Now that was 1983, 1990, and that one way above my head, 1948. This place was almost completely submerged.
Now we're going to go inside and have a look at how all the mill machinery works.
Here we are inside the drying kiln, and this is where, as you would expect, they dried the barley and the oats. This is really, really powerful. Well, do you know what? That was absolutely fascinating. My tour guide was called Andy, and as you would expect, he knew absolutely everything about the history of Preston Mill and the process of drying and milling the grain. And the processes were fascinating, with all those wheels and cogs and pulleys and bands. You know, you can really feel the power of history in a place like this. And once you've done the tour of the mill, the grounds are worth exploring as well. It's absolutely gorgeous down here by the river. Now there's one place I want to show you before the end of the vlog. Now Preston Mill was built back in the 1600s, so obviously an ancient building, but they're building something new here in East Linton, and I think it'll be worth taking a look at. Here we are, almost finished. East Linton train station. Yeah, that's right. East Linton is getting its own brand new railway station. And of course, this is the East Coast Main Line from Edinburgh all the way down to London King's Cross. So it's going to be a lot easier to visit East Linton on the train if you fancy going and having a look at Preston Mill and its fascinating history. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Rog Vlog. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until the next video, remember, there's always something to see, so get out there and find it.
'Cause the short foot on the show, I'm dancing on the tables and I must say I